Hello, Cosmic Witches. Welcome to another episode of the Divine Gossip Girls and our last segment of Witchy October. If you haven't noticed, we've been doing some like Halloween witchy episodes just to fit with the vibe of fall and of October being such a spooky, scary month. And today we thought we would try out some witchcraft all together and let you know how it goes. So today I have my book of 5,000 spells. It's a really hefty book. Maybe I'll post it on the stories. It's such a hefty book. And I'm gonna go through and find each of us a spell. We're doing this at the beginning of October. We're gonna take 2 weeks and then tell you how it went. So let's jump into the episode and choose our magic. Hey, Cosmic Witches! Divine Gossip Girls here, your one and only source into the spiritual happenings of the cosmos.
Ever wonder what this month's energy will have in store for you? What the planets and stars are even up to? Or if the universe can just help you catch a break already?
Well, lucky you, because we have all the spiritual secrets to tell. Get ready to sip on your weekly dose of divine tea.
So we were talking a little bit before, so Sophie, what are you looking for?
Okay. Well, because of what was alive right now, I'm on my period. So I was like, what if we were to dive into something like that well, this is the thing, I don't know. What's in your
Maybe like
of course,
connecting
Maggie.
to the divine feminine or like something around.
Yeah. Like connecting to your womb. Like a womb spell.
Ooh,
Womb spell.
that's good.
Yeah. Because for a little, like just background information for other people, I normally have like really bad periods, like pains and like depression, like real bad hormonal depression. It's been quite bad the last couple of years, but the past 2 months I've really been kind of connecting more with my cycle, with my womb and working with it instead of like against it and really starting to connect with like that part of me, right? And I've noticed such a massive difference. So, like 2 months ago, I'd done a practice, like a somatic practice with a membership that I'm a part of, a somatic membership that I'm a part of, and it was like a womb kind of practice. And ever since then, like a shift has been made within my womb, and I just want to continue to expand on that because my pains have lessened. I do not have such deep, dark PMS depression, which I really like had really bad. Like I would doubt myself so much. Like it would just be like a week of just genuine self-hatred and depression. And I've just not had that these past 2 weeks, 2 months, sorry. And yeah, like I just want to continue to connect with myself in that way because it is making like a huge difference, not only just like in the connection to myself, but obviously my energy and my aliveness and my creativity and my intuition and yeah, like my magnetism.
So I'm looking through, there's like a whole section on like women, and there's
Okay.
one specifically with like menstrual cycles. So I'm
Mhm.
just turning to that page
Of
here.
course, Maggie would have this big, massive, chunky book of spells. Like,
I just thought it was so
tell me you're a
aligned
witch without
because,
telling me you're a witch.
yeah, because I haven't had this book in so long.
hmm
And I was like, oh, this will be
I
perfect.
remember when Maggie came to Scotland almost 2 years ago, which we were talking about earlier. Was it? Yeah, that time when you came here and we went to Edinburgh and we went into the spiritual shop, store, whatever you guys call it. You guys call it store, we call it shop, in Edinburgh. And I'm sure Maggie got these little, I'm sure I still got mine, like some of mine, but it was like little like magic abundance spell candles and we came home. Remember that, Maggie? We came home and we done this like abundance spell ritual together. I feel like that's the only time I've really done like a proper a proper spell ritual other than throwing cinnamon is that how you say it? Cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon.
I need to do that more often, guys. You should do that. Maggie tells me to do it all the time. It welcomes in abundance and magic.
Especially after you like cleanse a space.
Yeah.
I'm just trying
I
to
wear
find this.
cinnamon every night, essential oil. I put cinnamon on my wrists before bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just started doing it because I love the smell of cinnamon, and also in Mexican culture cinnamon is just in everything, like coffee, all the
And
desserts
have you
like have
noticed like
cinnamon.
it shift anything for you, like in
I
terms
feel
of
like I use it.
energy and abundance?
I've noticed, at least for myself, when I put it on, I kind of set the tension to like protect me as I sleep.
Yeah.
Like to kind of like, bring good energy to me as I sleep, because we don't know what the fuck our spirit does during our sleep. And I have the craziest experiences in my sleep. I feel like my spirit loves her astro travel. She's like, let me go to the weirdest realm and frolic around and give you some DNA upgrades, and then we'll return back in the morning. But I mean, sometimes it's also just my mind. I don't know. So I feel like if I tell my subconscious as well, like, all right, we're gonna have a little bit more chill sleep, and I tell my spirit, let's like get ourselves in check, and I do my little cinnamon on my wrists, like I just feel like spiritually, mentally, physically, I have more sound sleep whenever I do that. And so I love cinnamon so
Yeah,
much.
I love that. I might try that out. And if any of you guys have tried out little like rituals like this or spells or whatever kind of thing
Oh,
you've done,
I did do a spell. I did do a spell
yeah,
in
we would love for
college.
you to like tell us. We want to,
It was a
the
stupid little
hotline.
love spell.
You don't, did it help?
No, it didn't, because the man was not aligned with me. Like it was in my lacking self-love era for sure. It was before I dated my ex, who in itself, like, it was a relationship that I needed to have. It met me where I was at and it taught me a lot. But prior to that, I was like I wasn't like in pick me energy, but I was very much like, I need validation from a man to feel worthy and beautiful. Also, having such a background rooted in like an eating disorder for so much of my life, I lacked so much confidence and self-love. So the spell was like, right, like that this man loves me. Let's just say his name is like Bill. It was like, Bill
No,
loves me.
Bill.
Bill loves me. And I don't even know where I found the spell. I think it was like just on TikTok or something. It was like a manifestation, like love spell ritual thing. So I wrote it down, like, I don't even know how many times. Like I filled so many pieces of paper with this man's name saying that he loved me. And then I think it was like put roses, like put them between the pages or something, and like do something with visualizing. I don't know. But basically it didn't work.
Basically, it just,
Basically, I needed to go on a whole
well,
self-love journey.
well, yeah, exactly. And maybe that's a lesson to learn. Like, you can't just
Yeah.
use these spells and think that's what's magically going to
Do
like
everything
do
for
everything.
you.
Like, you have to do your part as well. So yeah, like we would love to know, like, share them in the Divine Gossip Girls hotline. Like, obviously, that's a space for questions, but even if you have a story, like a spell story or a ritual story.
Or if you're looking for a spell, maybe we can do a Divine Gossip Girls
Yes.
Hotline spell edition.
Oh, I
Yes.
love that. Yeah, drop in what you, because I feel like spells, it's you have to like, for a spell to truly work, it's like you just conjuring energy. Like, and so you have to be really good at like,
That's a
because
good question. What even is a spell for
energy
people?
flows where intention goes. So it's like you're working with the energy of an herb, you're working with the energy of a thing, and then you're also conjuring the energy through your intentions. And those that like send really powerful things like evil eyes is like they're conjuring a lot of their energy, a lot of like whatever it is that they're calling forward, whatever elements they're working with to send that energy. So I feel like and witches can be really powerful. Like it's like the more powerful of a witch is like the more powerful you are at conjuring energy. In a lot of ways, like people see Reiki can be witchcraft as well, because you're conjuring the energy of source to heal others, and it's not conjuring like a bad way, but of course could be used with malicious intents if someone's not in a good place and they're like looking to, inflict harm on others. But I feel like it's really just you calling forward the elements, the energy from different elements, and infusing them with your intention.
And connecting, right? Connecting with deities, guides, with intention, asking for help, like putting it out to your guides and being like, I need some help with this. And so when you do something like this, it's also about like listening and listening to that intuition, listen to any channeled messages that might come through, because you might be saying, like Sophie's saying, I want help balancing my hormones, working with my cycle. And it's like, okay, I'm putting that intention out there. So now if I get intuitive
You have to be
pings,
like open to
yeah, it's not just going to magically
receive.
fix it, but you'll probably be guided into how to.
Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
a couple of things here. There's the ovarian shield spell. There's the uterine creativity unblocking spell / healing spell, which I thought you might like.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's 2 of those. So
I
it
love how you
really
were like,
depends.
I could
I
just
can,
tell you were like, this is probably the one that Sophie's going to like. Because like as soon as you said that, I was like, yeah, my intuition is more drawn to that one.
yeah, there's 2. So do you want me to read them both to you and you can decide which one you want to do?
Go for it.
Okay, so the first one is working with Athena, and the second one is working with Bridget. So that you'll be working with the energy of like a deity. You would be calling on to this person to join your spirit team and ask them for their assistance. So the first one's with Athena. So it says here, metaphysically, uterine problems are thought to be linked to suppressed or repressed creativity with no outlet for expression. In conjunction with whatever treatment is taken, consider what avenue of creativity may be blocked. Start a project. If you draw a blank and are sure you don't have frustrated desires or don't know how to begin, build an altar to Athena, deity of crafts and creativity. So this is either you're going to build one and be like, help me figure out what needs to be expressed, or you have an idea for a project and maybe it's asking Athena to help how to figure that out, or even if it's a desire. So for you, Sophie, I know you have some new things that you want coming up. It could also be like a desire. I know you want to move, so it could be like, how creatively do I make this happen? And you do this by decorating an altar, and an altar doesn't have to be this big special place. It can be like a corner of your desk. It can be like a part of your bedside table. It can be a windowsill, as long as you decide that this is a sacred, intentional space that only these things for your altar and this work will go on. It will work. Like you can make travel altars. It's totally fine. And what you do is you decorate an altar with images that are corresponding to Athena. So it can be snakes, gorgon heads, spiders, owls, looms, and olive leaves. Offer Athena a glass of something as an offering, as well as a dish of olive oil, and burn white candles when you make your like asking. So you can either place something written, or you can say it out loud and burn a white candle. So we literally just held up a white candle.
I literally bought these at the store, at the shop. Literally an hour before I came on this call, like long white candles for this nice little like old-fashioned candle holder that Maggie's got a similar one. So this may be going right on
That
my
might be it. So there's your first one. Your second one that you could try is with Bridget. So the prominent Celtic divinity,
Oh, okay.
Bridget, is affiliated with water, fire, fertility, smithcraft, and human creativity. She is a sponsor of writing and poetry. Request that she unblock your creativity and simultaneously heal your health disorder. I feel like this one could be really you. So for this one, you request her assistant for stalled projects or build her an altar to request this inspiration. Decorate her altar with burning candles, like lots of candles, which is so you.
Not an issue for Sophie.
And dishes of magically charged waters. So you could put
Right.
out like some moon water and then put it
Okay.
on there. You could charge it with crystals, put it on there.
Mhm.
Display images of cows, pigs, bees, or beehives, and offer Bridget a bowl of milk and blackberries.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you do this, and this is basically you calling on the energy of one of these 2 deities and saying, help me find inspiration. Help me make it, through this full cycle with my health, with my hormones, and also spark this creativity within blank project.
Yeah.
So which one are you calling more? Feeling
Yeah, I
more
feel
called
like
to?
Bridget, maybe. I feel like
I think so too. So I'll send you.
even before you said any information between the both of them, Bridget, I was like, my intuition was like more leaning towards her as like
So
before
you
I
knew,
had any
and I
information.
was like, this one seems good, but as soon as I started reading the second one, I was like, wait a second, this is
Yeah.
it. So I'll send you
It's
the
so
picture
funny
of that.
because literally before I came on like our recording and to our call, I was watching like a YouTube channel and I was telling you guys, and they literally had a girl on who is a poet, and she uses poet to manifest, and it's called like a spoiler poet, and you write your own poet. It's like, you know how people do scripting? It's basically scripting, but like
It's
a
like
poet
poetry?
version.
Like
Yeah,
poetry?
Yeah,
it's
like
a
you
poet
write your
version.
own poem
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you
And
it's like
then obviously
that.
we were literally talking about, before we started recording, talking about like Celtic. I don't know what you guys were talking about, but we were
Yeah.
talking about Celtic.
I think this is it. I'll send you a picture of it, Sophie. You let us know when we meet up in 2 weeks how this
Okay, I'm
goes for you.
excited. This
I'm
is
really excited.
fun. Also because like I do feel so drawn to like connecting with, like balancing my hormones, connecting with my womb, and like unlocking more of my creativity through this area, because like right now I'm on day 1 of my cycle. And this is when like your creativity is like at its highest as well. And I feel like we're being kind of conditioned to like feel like, oh, when you're on your periods, you have to be in pain and you have to be suffering. But actually, like that's when your intuition and your creativity is like alive, you know? And I really want to connect to that way of like being as a woman, you know?
I'm so excited to see how it goes
I love
for you.
this. I love this
Carly,
so
what are you
much.
thinking?
Your turn,
Well,
Carly.
yeah. Carly.
Carly.
I would love to hear Sophie do like a Western accent, like a Southern, like US Southern accent. Hey, Carly.
Hey, Carly. How you doing?
That was interesting. Okay, well, so I feel like for me, I have really been noticing something that comes up when it comes to abundance, where I have this, I think, a bit of a block around receiving, because there is this interesting belief that I'm working to work through, or like working to, yeah, just kind of, I guess, reframe, release, but it's all around kind of feeling like, oh, if I have more, then it takes away from others, or just kind of this block around like, who am I to have all these things? I already am very privileged, you know, when like there's people that are struggling. So I feel like that is a whole thing that I've realized, where it's like, okay, I'm manifesting more abundance, and then all of a sudden I like hit this part where it's like, oh my God, but like I feel kind of guilty because there's people that don't have as much, and I realize, I catch myself in those moments. But I would love if there was a spell around supporting us in like receiving, like being an open channel for receiving, and feeling confident in receiving, being like, yeah, I am freaking worthy, and just because I am receiving does not mean that it's taking away from anyone else's. Like, this isn't a limited resource, even though it can often be seen
I feel
as
like this is a full podcast episode in itself. Like, I feel like you need to pinpoint this, and we need to like dive into this topic.
Well, I feel like
feel
it's
like
such a
I
common
agree.
thing for someone. I'm sure,
No,
like,
well,
a
exactly.
lot
That's
of
why I
people hit
think
that block
we need
all
to
of a
talk
sudden.
about this, because we'll like it's just so true, and like I've felt that as well, and especially with the world we live in. But it's like coming back to like the infinite universe that we live in, and also like the fact that like when you can be the example of what's possible by being in that abundance, you like allow others to
You
see
allow
that, oh,
others.
wait, like this
Yeah.
is possible, this is available, you know?
Right. And I think like when I logically, you know, look into
Yeah.
it, I feel like, okay, yes, like I am worthy, because the more that I receive, the more that I become abundant, the more that I have to share, like the bigger I get to like make
Yeah, but
my
maybe like
influence and my
energetically and
impact. But yeah,
somatically,
there is
it's
such a
like,
strong instilled energy, especially as women, that like, oh, we cannot rise up, we cannot be in our power, we cannot. And it's like, I so do not believe that. Like, but energetically, I think there is something within my ancestry personally, knowing that, you know, I've had like ancestral energy in like rooted in like indigenous, you know, cultures, where it's like, okay, they have been so repressed that it's kind of like this deep-seated belief of like, oh, maybe I'm meant to, like, maybe I do not deserve to be in places of power. Like, maybe there's something within me that is not worthy of being in power. And I mean,
oh,
I
it's
think,
time to
yeah,
shift
It's time to shift that.
So do you think you want something more like I can look in the money spell section or the abundance spell section and see if there's something there? Or do you want me to look in the ancestor spell section? If you're feeling like it's ancestral.
Ooh. Let's see.
I mean, we can look in both.
Maybe in both, because I do feel like ancestrally it feels like it has been prevalent and it's something that like wants to be healed through this lifetime, like through me. But at the same time, I think it has a lot to do with receiving abundance monetarily. I think like I've become very open. At least this year, I've learned how to receive love and open up my heart more. But it's like there's still some sort of block around living more, like feeling abundant in terms of like monetary possessions.
No, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah. So, but I do think it is
I think for
ancestrally
me,
tied.
like when it comes to like monetary abundance, it's like I feel like I cap myself because that's like I've watched everyone around me cap themselves. You know, it's just like there's never that limitless flow. And that's something that I've been like shifting out of.
Well,
Especially
maybe
because
this is going to be a spell for you too.
yeah,
You too.
exciting.
All right, so there's 2 for you, Carly. Of course, like I couldn't find something exactly that was like, this is exactly what you're looking for like that exact problem. But what I think is good is to look at, okay, we're looking at money spells, we're looking at abundance spells, and how can we make this work for feeling like more comfortable calling this in, right? Like feeling more comfortable. So also making these your own, I tried to look for ones that had more things like intentions and affirmations that you could work for so you could set your specific intention.
I like that.
So yeah. So the first one is the animal magic wealth spell, and you're working with the golden spider figure.
Ooh,
and so this one says, I know, I was like, ooh, but it's like animal, which I also feel is very Carly. So this is the golden money spider weaves a web of riches. As the old saying goes, if you wish to live and thrive, let the spider stay alive. Reminding us that killing a spider is considered detrimental to one's own good fortune. So maybe don't kill any spiders also.
No, I love spiders. I literally, interesting that you say that. Literally yesterday when I was in my bed, like I leave not my windows open, but I have screens, and there's always like spiders, or we have like a lot of what are they, like box beetles? I don't know. They flock around our house when it's warm. But I was like crawling into bed, and I had my crystals in my hand, like just all snuggled up, and all of a sudden I look on my wall and there's a fucking beetle, and I was like, oh God. Okay, so I rescued it, of course, and I brought it outside.
So this is perfectly fits for you. So because you would never kill a spider anyways. So number 1, you start with, you draw a picture of a spider hidden in its labyrinth web on red paper, and you can use gold ink or like a yellow crayon or yellow pencil crayon or something to make it sort of like yellow because it's the golden spider. Then you place the picture in a corner, so corner in your room somewhere, with a saucer underneath it. So it's like you put the saucer in the corner, you put your little golden spider, and toss a few coins into the saucer and make an invocation. Express your needs to the spider.
So is this, it's like the saucer has the picture on it?
In it. Yes.
In it, and with the 3 coins?
With as many coins as you want. It just says toss a few.
Okay.
Maybe 3, that's your intuition speaking. But yeah, you put the saucer in the corner, you put the spider in there, and then you put a few coins in. And as you're doing that, express your needs to the spider and say your little spell of your choosing. And then once a week or whenever the spider comes through for you, toss a few more coins onto the plate. So maybe keep some coins beside. And if you see a spider when you're out, or if you feel like, okay, I need a little bit of support, throw some more coins in and continue to do that as much as you want until we talk again, and then onwards if you want. Or the second one is called the bayberry money spell. So you want, you would have to go get some bayberry oil or something like that. So you want to take a small piece of silver, so this can be like a little coin, this can be whatever you want, and you want to put some bayberry oil on it, hold it in your left hand to charge it with your desire or intention, carry it with you throughout the day, And then at the end of the day, place it on your forehead over the third eye area for 30 minutes. And you only have to do the oil on it once a week. And so you sit with it
that's
over
a
your
Carly
third eye.
one.
Hold it in your left hand, charge it with your desire, carry it with you throughout the day, place it over your third eye area for 30 minutes every day. Feed with a drop of bayberry oil weekly.
Mm.
So,
Question, because like the silver is not going to absorb the oil, right? Like it
yeah,
will.
it's just to anoint it, sort of.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, lovely. I feel like
So which one are you feeling?
I feel like the spider is kind of calling out to me. Like, I don't necessarily want spiders to be all around me personally, but I do find that very interesting. Like, I love working with animals or like,
Yeah.
you know, just the energy of spirit.
I thought they
kind
were
of
both
animal
very
insects. Yeah, and like the silver is giving like crystal energy, like carry around. I mean, honestly, could I do both?
I mean, if you want to do both, do both.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures of both and you can sort of commit to one or see which one works for you or do both.
Okay,
That would be
lovely. Thank you.
exciting.
I'm excited. Ooh. And now
then I
Maggie,
think
yeah.
Yeah, I think for mine, I'm going to do some sort of money spell specifically just to call money in because we're trying to like get an apartment and Joel's trying to find a job and like we're starting to like set up that next step of life. So I think I want to pick like a specific either money or just like magnetism spell and then
Guys, if
just
any of these spells are resonating with you, like take one and do them with us.
Yeah, give us your feedback. What happens after you try out these spells? Maggie, I like that idea though.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do like some sort of yeah.
Activate that magnetism, baby.
We stopped the recording when I was looking, and I just said I'm not gonna give myself two, but I might. I don't know. There's one called the Kitchen Money Magic, and I've been talking a lot how I want to do more kitchen witchcraft. So this one says, are you trying to cast a discreet money spell? There's all these, like, there's Jezebel root, dragon's blood, frankincense, and five-finger grass may be reasonably conspicuous. They're not exactly standard household items, at least not in most standard households. Never fear, some of the most powerful money-drawing plants are innocuous culinary herbs, perfect for subtle kitchen magic for those witches still in the broom closet. Finely chop fresh basil, dill, or parsley. Whisper and murmur your desires over them. Sprinkle onto food as magical garnish. And I have a whole basil plant outside, and I wanted to make pesto for the winter.
Can you
So maybe
send me
I'll
that
do
one?
like
Oh my, yeah. Can we all do this one?
yeah, I know.
I
That's what I'm
literally
thinking of
have like a
doing.
full plant of basil.
Maybe Maggie,
on
when I
my-
visit
in my
you,
kitchen.
We can
oh, I
make.
love that.
you
Let's make
visit-
some abundance pesto.
Do you want to?
Let's do it. I would love that.
Let's do it. Okay, and then the second one that I'm looking at is called the Knot Money spell, and you comb and brush your hair. And I do this always in the shower because I have crazy hair. So I comb or brush my hair in the shower. Visualize the money that you need. Remember, as long as you're visualizing, visualize big. When 9 strands of hair have been caught in your comb or brush, so for me, 2 seconds, start chanting, I need blank amount. Please bring me blank amount. Be specific. As you're chanting, rub the strands of hair between your palms, forming a string. When you've created a long cord of hair, tie 9 knots in it, moving from left to right. Visualize the money in your hand as you hold the hair. Visualize your debts being paid and your purpose fulfilled. When you're ready, either bury the hair in earth or burn it.
Yeah, they're
gonna
both
try.
very. You're doing well. Finding two for that align with all of
With
us.
me a lot. I know.
Those two
Yeah.
really align. With
I'm
you.
loving these. I'm loving
So
it.
I think I'm going to try those. I'm very excited for us to try all of our spells and to kind of touch back. Honestly, I was saying maybe I'll change
I feel like we
the
do a
intro.
part 1, part 2.
I think, yeah, if you've listened all the way, this is going to be part 1, and we're going to do part 2 in November. So we'll give it a full month, and we'll let you guys know how it goes. And let us know if you're going to try out any of these spells. Remember exactly what Carly and Sophie were saying at the beginning, which is these are not magic fixes. They are forms of magic and energy work, but you need to work with intention with them, right? And you need to realize that there's no magic fixes, there's just intention and energy, and these can bring you great things, but you have to make sure that you're not just, setting and forgetting. You're actually moving with intention. So we're all going to try these over the next month. We'll get back to you in an episode in November. I'll say November we'll do another one and we'll catch you up. And if you like this, maybe we'll do them every quarter or so and tell you how they go. And it'll be a way for us to also embrace more of our magic and learn about what works for us and explore more and more. I think it'll be really fun for
embody this like
expansion.
cosmic witch, we're cosmic
Yeah.
witches, and this is us embodying this cosmic
Yeah,
witch.
so thank you guys for participating. I had this idea, literally, I got up, I said, 1 second, before we do some other planning, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. And then I saw the book on the shelf, and I was like, I'm bringing this back. I have an idea. And the girls
we
just,
were not planning on recording, yet here we are.
yet here we are.
I've loved
So
every
thank
moment
you.
of this. I can't wait.
Yes, it's so fun though. So thank you so much for listening. We'll talk with you soon, and we'll let you know how our magic goes. All right.
Bye.
Bye.